Hey, Archery Talk, this is Lucas, and today I'm sitting down for a Zoom chat with Evan Williams from Hoyt Archery, and Hoyt's got some major changes going on with the 2021 hunting bow lineup, and Evan is going to run me through those and maybe help me decide which one I should test this year as part of our What Should I Shoot series. So, Evan, how you doing, and what's going on with Hoyt?
Doing good, Lucas. Doing really good today. Yeah, like you said, major changes. We are welcoming in a whole brand new cam system this year. And it's not something that was just a slight modification or an upgrade. It's something that's never actually been before ever offered on our flagship models or any model for that matter. And that is a binary, or we're calling it the HBX cam system. So very, very unique to Hoyt. That is going to be available in our two flagship model lines, which is the Ventum, that's our aluminum series, available in a 30 and a 33-inch axle to axle, and the RX-5 in our Carbon series, which is also available in a 30 and an ultra 34-inch axle to axle model.
So I guess beyond the new cam system, which is a huge departure from Hoyt, there's some other interesting technology going on with Hoyt as far as like the sight mounting.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So we introduced a new Picatinny or pick rail mounting system this year. Our whole goal was to increase user experience. Part of that is, as the industry has kind of started driving here, back in this direction, is, lighter weight mass bow. So our goal is to shift everything in line. So with the Picatinny sight rail system, we're able to take, and they still have a standard mount on the side, but we take our Picatinny rail and it actually mounts to the front of your riser, and there's a 3-part vertical mounting adjustment that allows you to mount that sight directly in front of the bow. So you have less total mass weight and you have less weight on the side of your bow for counterbalancing. That goes right along with our integrate rest system, where we're getting rid of some of that hardware, bringing it in line into that tech riser design. And then we also have a new SL or streamline sidebar adapter that is 70% lighter mass weight than our hard lock adapter and mounts directly to the side of your bow versus behind and where your string stop is at. We actually lower the center of gravity and have a reduced total mass weight sidebar adapter. So
there's a significant kind of like next level thinking from Hoyt for what they're doing with the bows this year. I guess back onto the cam, because I mean that's the binary style cam is obviously a huge departure from Hoyt. What is the main benefit of kind of going that style, switching from the yokes and the cam and a half systems that we've been accustomed to in the past?
Yep. So one of the things that we found is, we're very, very good at noise and vibration canceling. The one thing with the cam and a half system is it really didn't allow us to shine in that department because there's just some natural tendencies with the cam and a half system. So when we cut our first prototype of the HBX cam, we noticed a 25% initial improvement just in noise and vibration reduction without changing anything else. So it really allows us to streamline that process to get a quieter and a more vibration-free bow. Again, all going to that user experience.
I guess so when it comes to like the owner tuning of these bows, with the yokes not there, is it like a Shim system, and is that something they can get from a Hoyt dealer to maybe kind of fine tune things?
Yep, we do. We have a new Shim system. So they're going to come with basically an X-type pattern. So you have 115 thousandths and an 85 thousandths washer on either side of those cams. And basically, as you shift that cam, it creates cam lane that our old yokes would do. But to help save time, we also developed a new tool that our dealers are going to have. It's got an E-clip tool on it with a magnet. You got a magnet sticks to your press. We have an axle punch, and then we have spacer clips on either end. So you can punch that axle out, clip onto your spacer, flip, grab onto the other spacer, flip, and switch them in about 20 to 30 seconds. So you can have an entire bow changed in less than a minute if you needed to swap spacers, top and bottom limbs. It's a really cool system, allows us to be a lot more fast, and ultimately it's a quicker change, not so much versus a split yoke system that we had. Before a binary system, it's a whole lot easier to flip those out now, not dropping spacers and lose them at the bottom of press and having to go digging around on your hands and knees looking for stuff.
I've definitely lost spacers over the years, and with test bows trying to move things around, and it's trying to find ones that match perfect is no picnic.
Yep. Been there myself.
So with that sight mounting system up front, is there are you getting some like aftermarket support from all the sight makers? Are they coming to market now with enough to give people a variety of choices?
There are. We're working on building that final list as to when sight manufacturers come to us that their prototypes are now going into production. They're ready to get those launched. Currently, Fuse will have some. Excel will have some. I know we've reached out to HHA, Spot Hog, CBE, B3, and 10 to 15 other manufacturers in the industry. So we hope to have a nice comprehensive offering of lines with that pick rail system. Currently on the market, there are 2 that have confirmed that are in production.
Very good. Thanks for the insight. I guess now we'll figure out what should I shoot is the $1 million question for me. So I'll help you out with a little bit of specs and maybe just with how I generally will be hunting. I run a 30-inch draw length, and I'll do the testing of the bows at 70 pounds for the speed test, so get as close to IBO as I can. Probably crank that down to about 65 when I'm hunting, and I'll be primarily whitetail or hogs if I ever get lucky and the borders open up and I can go back to the States from my cold Canadian home. And mostly out of a tree stand is for the most part. So I mean the weight savings is not a huge issue to me because I'm not covered like a Western hunter over miles of terrain. But I do live in Canada and it gets chilly up here during hunting season. So there's kind of benefits of both, I think, for the aluminum and the carbon side. That's always a bit of a toss up for me because again I like the warmth of the carbon, but I'm not hunting for lightweight because I'm not hauling 5 miles to every day or 10 miles to get to a spot to hunt. Right.
And this is one of those years where there's enough difference between what's going on in aluminum versus what's going on in the carbon. You have the 30-inch offering in both models. So both models are going to have a separate cam. Sorry, it's a module system. So your Ventum 30 and your RX-5 are both going to run 25 to 30 inches. Your number 2 module, which is going to run 25 to 28, and then you have the number 3 that runs from 28.5 to 30 inches. The Ventum 33 is going to run 26 to 31. That number 2 will be from 26 to 29. Number 3 will be 29.5 to 31. And then your Ultra on your carbon is 27 to 32. The number 2 is going to be 27 to 30. Number 3 will be 30.5 to 32. So there's no physical overlap in any of those module positions. You have that constant half-inch gapping, where in years past, we might go 26 to 28, 28 to 30, 30 to 32 in our models, and you had that overlap at the top end of the lower cam and the bottom end of the upper. For me, I'm very, very much performance-based, so I want to get the most out of the setup that I can for my draw length. So when I'm running 28.5, when I look at those module breakdowns for each one of those different model bows, it's more of a benefit because of the numbers to shoot the Ventum 33. So I stay in the top side of that number 2 module. So I can run a 28.5 inch draw with a 71 pound draw weight. And I'm currently running a 440 grain arrow at 293 feet per second. If I go and shoot the Ventum 30 or the RX-5, and I now jump to the bottom side of that number 3 cam with the same arrow and the same specs, I actually lose speed because of where I'm at in that module for my draw length. So for you to gain performance, in my opinion, with a 30-inch draw, knowing I'd rather see you with the comfort of the string angle, I'd recommend a Carbon RX-5 Ultra. That's going to keep us in the highest draw length position for performance in the number 2 module. So you get the best speed, the best efficiency, and then you're also going to gain the benefit of the carbon riser for your draw in having that heat retention. Carbon is 207 times better at thermal regulation than aluminum. So especially in your late season hunts, you're going to be a lot more comfortable grabbing onto that carbon bow, not necessarily again for the mass weight, because you can always weight it up if you physically need more weight, which is one of the great things about Carbon. I can start with a lighter weight bow and put a bunch of weight on if I need to deal with the wind or the chill, me being, shivering in a late season hunt or whatever that circumstance is. I might just like a heavier bow. So performance wise and all the spec are telling me that RX-5 Ultra is going to be that sweet spot bow for you.
Oh, perfect. That's I have a history of liking the longer Hoyt bows. The Helix Ultra was a personal favorite of mine. Really liked how that bow felt in my hand. I like the string angle, and it was, again, that was one of those bows I like to call an all-day shooter. It was not, it wasn't one of those ones that bust up your shoulder after you've been throwing 50 or 60 arrows down range. You could shoot that one all day. So I would assume it's going to be comparable out of the RX-5 Ultra.
Yeah, and I really feel that the HBX cam system is smoother than the Z series or the ZT series that we've had in the past. It's a lot cleaner and crisper, more consistent through the entire draw cycle.
Yeah, I guess to the benefit too of the longer bows. I mean, if you want to play a little double duty as a 3D bow, that longer bow is probably going to come in a little handy on the course when you're not in hunting season. You want to get out and shoot some foam.
Absolutely, and for the guys that they're 3D shooting, they're indoor spot shooting, they're doing some field stuff. They're truly shooting year round and are trying to watch their budget and just find one bow to do everything with. That ultra length, whether it's 34, 35 inches, since we varied a little bit in the years past, that truly is a great all-around bow for indoor spots, outdoor spots, field, FIDA, 3D, and hunting. I grew up shooting a 35-inch bow, and I've never felt like in any situation where I've been in a ground blind or a tree stand or spotting and stalking that 35-inch bow has ever caused me issues or been a hindrance in any of those type of hunting environments.
Yeah, I think I shot my first ever deer with a 36-inch bow. So I was, and I was out of a ground blind. I had no trouble with that as well. I guess just a bit of an offshoot question on string angle, because I know Hoyt's been like one of the keys for you guys is the angle that you get, kind of maybe an improved string angle with shorter bows. Is that still going through with the new cam system, or is that a?
It's a larger cam design, but because of how that cam is designed and how the orientation sits, I don't think it's as high. So like with the Defiant series and then our RX1s and everything with the ZT cam system, we're able to really change and alter how that peaked up. So with this HBX cam design, as it goes through that rotational process, we are able to keep a higher string angle, but it's not as high as the DFX or the ZT series cams have been. We've been able to promote 2 3/4 inches, where now we're down to 1 3/4 to 2 inch, depending on which model.
Fair enough. Appreciate it. I appreciate all the insight on this, and I'm very much looking forward to taking one of the new Hoyts out for a spin this year, especially once the lockdown ends and my club opens up again. Right now, I'm kind of restricted to a lot of garage shooting for now, because we're still a little locked down up here, but I'm hoping that's going to change very soon. So.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, hopefully worldwide it will. I know Europe starting to. I think Austria started opening some shops 2 weeks ago, and they're only allowing clubs with outdoor access, which in Europe in the middle of the winter isn't too many. So
fair point. Yeah, it's a little. I'm too soft to be shooting outside right now. We got a foot of snow on the ground, and I'm not built that way.
Put your lacrosse boots on and get some good bits.
I'll try, man. Well, again, thank you so much for your help with this, Evan.
Lucas, it's a pleasure, sir.
All right, we'll see you soon.
Have a good one.
Bye-bye.